The same as usual, working at your own pace, making sure that nothing is causing pain or discomfort, as in joint pain, muscular discomfort in time, up to you. If it gets too much, you can always stop. Having the little props handy, so the strap and the pillow, the ball, in case that you need them. We're going to start the focusing on the back. We're starting with the neck first. We're going to go into a little extension flexion. So I'm going to keep the shoulders nice and still. I'm going to start tucking the chin in. So think of curling the head in, curling the head forward, encouraging a little bit more length, a little bit more opening into the back of the neck. So see if I can try and picture where the neck attaches to the back of the skull. See if I can try and open up that space. So I'm going to try and lengthen and tuck in. If you're laying down, you can support the head, or you might want to support the head. So I'm going to support the head as I curl it forward, curl it up. The shoulders are staying on the mat. I'm going to release the head back, and then I'm going to start to go in the other way. So I'm going to try and lengthen through the front of the throat. I'm going to try and lift as high as you can. And then same as usual, see if you can try and stretch a little bit further by pushing the tongue into the roof of the mouth. Then I'm going to ease my way back. And then again, tucking the chin in, I'm going to try and open up and lengthen at the back. And then I'm going to lift, look up. And easing forward, coming down. So nice and slow, controlled movement. Noticing when you're looking up, if the pull down the front of the throat is even, you might find that one side seems to be pulling more than the other. As I tuck the chin in, one side of the back of the neck might be slightly different from the other. I might notice that my head seems to be going slightly to the right or slightly to the left. See if I can try and bring it to the center as much as possible, try to get a nice even pull on both sides. Last time. And releasing back. Relaxing through the shoulders, relaxing through the neck. I'm going to stay with the flexion extension, but this time I'm going to try and work through the thoracic spine, so the upper back. So I'm going to start going for the little forward and back glide. As you're seated, the hips shouldn't really be moving. As you're sitting on the chair, if you're laying down, the hips won't be involved. So I'm going to start gliding the chest, the breastbone forward. See if I can try and push it forward and up as high as you can. When you feel that you're at the end range, so I feel that I can't push any further, so you can stay there and then just lift and open a little bit more. And then I'm going to release. Reverse, I'm going to glide the breastbone back as if I was trying to push it into the back of the rib cage, trying to round it through the upper back. Think of same as you did for the neck, opening up the space between the vertebrae up through the thoracic spine. And then I'm going to come forward and then open up in reverse. A little extra lift, and then I'm going to release, push back, trying to round a little bit more. And then I'm going to lift and extend again. So we're going for the forward and back glide. See if you can be aware of the movement happening at the top of the chest. So I can feel the rib cage moving. I can feel a little bit more movement between the ribs. I can feel a little bit more movement at the front and at the back of the rib cage. I'm trying to ease off some of the stiffness and free the rib cage a little bit more. 3. 2. Last one. and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, you readjusting the rib cage, and then I'm going to keep on to the flexion extension, but this time instead of focusing on the thoracic spine, I'm going to focus on the lumbar, so it's the lower back this time. So if you're lying down, it's nice and easy as I've got the feet back from the floor. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back, I'm going to tuck the pelvis back, I'm going to press the lower back into the mat, and then I'm going to lift it up again. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis, tuck, press the lower back down, and then ease, and then back into neutral again. If I'm seated, I'm going to try the same. So this time, see if you can focus the intention into the lower back. So I'm going to try and roll onto the back of the seat, but it's almost as if I was trying to kind of like slouch onto the chair. And then I'm going to try and see if I can lift the hips up nice and high, as if somebody was grabbing hold of me and trying to lift me off the chair. And then I'm just going to let myself relax again. And then try to see if I can pick myself up again. So this time, see if I can get the movement down into the lower back. So massaging down the back of the pelvis, into the lumbar spine, making sure that there is no pain or discomfort. And then same as you've been doing so far, just noticing any difference between the right and the left side. So I might find that one side maybe a little bit stiffer, one side seems to be moving quite well, the other one seems to be a bit stuck. 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, adjusting the hips and releasing the lower back. Just a little bit more movement. If you the whole of the spine, I'm going to change the direction of the movement. This time I'm going to go into rotation. So starting from the neck, as same as before, I'm going to hold the shoulders nice and still, and then I'm going to turn to look around one shoulder, come back, turn the other way, come back, turn the other way, turn the other way. So same as usual, making sure that there is no referred pain down the arms, so there is no tingling into the fingertips, so there is no pain shooting down the arms. The movement feels easy, feels loose. Again, one side may be a little bit stiffer than the other. 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing your way back to the center. Again, adjusting the neck, adjusting the shoulders if you need to, and then from cervical, I'm going to again move into the thoracic and the lumbar. I'm going to raise the arms up to the front, or cross the arms onto the chest if I'm seated, and then I'm going to start getting the little swing going from side to side. I'm going to rotate one way, come back, rotate the other. Rotate one way, come back, rotate the other. So see if I can get the nice, easy rotation going from side to side. If you're seated, notice if you tend to lean over or actually turn to the side. See if I can think of turning to the side, not leaning to the side. If you're down on the back, making sure that the shoulders are not suddenly creeping up to your head, shrugging up to your ears. So see if I can keep the neck and the shoulders nice and relaxed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, but releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. Just a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to again come down into the lumbar spine. If I'm seated, the rotation is very limited as my hips are fixed on the chair, but I can still do a little bit. If I'm laying down, easier because I've got more freedom. I'm going to let the arms open out a little bit wider to counterbalance, and then I'm going to start pushing the legs over to one side. So if I'm seated with the opposite hand, I'm going to reach across, and then I'm going to try and push the legs to one side. Then easing back, and then I'm going to try and push the leg the other way. Encouraging a little turning from the top of the body too. So see if I can send the legs one way, turn the body the other, send the legs one way, turn the body the other. If I'm laying down, keeping the knees together, keeping the feet nice and close together, just to see if I can go into a nice and easy hip roll, massaging across the back of the hips, the lower back and the back of the pelvis. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, adjusting the hips and releasing the legs. And then from rotation, I'm going to get into a little lateral flexion. So starting with the neck, I'm going to start taking the right ear down to the right shoulder, the left ear down to the left. Making sure that it's your ear dropping to the shoulder, not the shoulder trying to come up to your ear. So see if I can think of the shoulder staying down, staying nice and relaxed. To see if I can create a nice stretch down one side of the neck and a nice stretch coming down the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, returning the head back to the middle, from cervical again going into thoracic. So I'm going to start reaching down with the all of the side of the body. So with the right hand, I'm going to reach down the right side, flexing down the right, pulling my way back to the center, and then reaching down the left, flexing down the left, and then back to the center. Same as usual, if you're sitting on the chair, see if you can imagine your back being against the very back of the chair or against the wall. See if you can imagine your head and your shoulders are staying on the wall. So I'm not leaning forward, I'm trying to move sideways. So see if I can get the little side to side going into the rib cage. One side is shortening and tightening, the other side lengthening and opening up. If I'm laying down, same as usual, I'm going to use the hand. I might want to use the hand to support the head as I reach down one way, and then use the other hand to support the head as I reach down the other side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back, and then a little bit more focus down into the lumbar spine. I'm going to start going into a little hip hitch. So if I'm laying down, I'm going to keep the back of the hips on the floor. I'm going to pull the top of the hip up to the side of the rib cage. So I'm going to hitch the right hip up, and then I'm going to hitch the left. I'm going to hitch the right, and then hitch the left. Hitch the right, and then hitch the left. So creating a little side-to-side movement, working through the obliques, and then trying to mobilize the back of the pelvis. the lower back. If I'm seated, same as usual, imagine to be lifting one seatbelt off the chest. I'm going to try and hitch up on one side, ease back, hitch up on the other, and then ease back. So focusing on that little tension on the side of the belly, helping you to pull up on the hip, pull up on the pelvis on that side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Adjusting the hips, adjusting the pelvis, is a little bit more movement into the back. We're going to start adding the arm. First thing, I just want to try and ease some tension of the arm. So stretching through the arm, stretching through the nerve that runs down into the hand, into the fingers. So I'm going to focus on the right arm. I'm going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And then I'm going to reach the right arm away. I'm going to extend the wrist, so I'm going to pull the hand up that way. And then I'm going to turn it out so that my thumb is pointing to the side of the room. And then if I can, maybe a little bit to the back of the room. I'm going to keep pulling the hand towards the forearm and then the head the other way until I can feel a nice easy stretch that from those first 3 fingers comes up the arm, over the shoulder, into the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease and back. Right here to the right shoulder. I'm going to reach away with the left arm, extending the wrist, so trying to bring the back of the hand towards the forearm, and then turning the arm out. See if I can create the same tension. There might be some tingling as you're stretching your nerve. There's nothing wrong with it. As far as when you release the stretch, the tingling is gone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the arm, relaxing the shoulders. There's a little bit more connection into the arms. I'm going to start circling the arm around. Circling the arm around. So I'm going to reach the right arm up to the front and then take it round to the side. I'm going to bring it back. Then with the left, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to lift it up to the front and then circle it out and then round and back. And then with the right, I'm going to repeat it again. So it could be a very little circle. It could be a very big circle. Just play with the position of the arm, making sure that the movement is not causing pain in the shoulder, and I'm not actually fighting the movement. So it doesn't feel as if the neck is stiffening, the upper body is tensing. I want a nice loose movement with the right and a nice relaxed movement with the left. If I'm seated, obviously the bigger the circle, the harder it becomes, as the arm is working against the gravity. If I'm laying down, it's a little bit easier because I'm working with gravity. Just making sure that I'm not creating pain. I'm going to try one more time on each side, and then I'm going to change the direction of the movement. So the next one, instead of lifting the arm up to the front to begin with, I'm going to take the arm out to the side and then round to the front. Out to the side and then round to the front. So round and back, round and back. Again, finding the range of movement that works this way. If the shoulder clicks, playing with the position of the hand, see if I can find a better fit between the top of the humerus, the top of the arm and the shoulder socket. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, there's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint. what I want is to try and create movement into the hip joint. So if you need a little support, if you're sitting, you can use your hands if you're quite close to grab hold of the legs. If you're lying down, you want to use the strap, as I want the head to stay on the ground and the shoulders to stay relaxed. But I might find that even seated with the strap, I feel more comfortable controlling the leg, as I don't need to lean forward. So once that I've got control over that leg, I'm going to lift the leg up, and then I'm going to start circling around. The foot might not even lift off the ground if I'm sitting, so the foot might stay on the ground. But see if you can try and think of your thigh bone moving into the hip socket. So see if I can try and create as much movement as possible. Making sure that, again, nothing is grinding, pinching or catching in the hip. It feels smooth, it feels relaxed. If I'm laying down, the leg will have to be lifted so that I can move it better, so that I can draw my circles with my knee up on the ceiling above. 3, 2, 1. Reversing the circle, going the other way. 10. 9. Notice any tension into the neck, any tension into the jaw. 8. To see if you can relax. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So setting the band around the other leg if you're using the band, grabbing hold of the leg if you're holding on to the leg, and then I'm just going to start to getting into that little circle. So again, see if I can get the movement into the hip socket. Again, noticing any difference between this side and the other. One side might feel a lot smoother, a lot easier to move. One side might feel really sticky, really stuck, not wanting to go anywhere. I'm just going to encourage the movement, but without forcing it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reversing the circle, going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back or releasing the leg, releasing the arm, and then I'm going to come back to the arms, come back to the upper body. This time I'm going to try and work in internal external rotation. So if I'm seated, I'm going to bend the elbows and turn the palms to face out. I'm going to squeeze the elbows in as if somebody was holding my arms in, and then keeping the elbows in, I'm just going to try and turn the forearms out and then bring them back. Turn them out and then bring them back. So same as you did for the leg movement, think of the movement this time happening just from the top of the arm. I'm going to try and turn it out into the shoulder socket and then bring it back in again. Turn it out into the shoulder socket and then bring it back in again. If you're lying down, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try and bring the elbows as close to the waist as possible, and then I'm going to try and rotate out as if I was trying to drop my thumbs to the ground, and then I'm going to come back. Now, the tendency is to let the arms open out wider, so it feels easier. I can easily go there. You're trying to keep them close to the side, close to the body. So see if you can encourage a little bit more range of movement into the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back and releasing the shoulders, and then moving back into the hip, into the leg. Grabbing hold of your pillow or your ball. And then I'm going to center the ball between the knees. Or you can just press the knees together. It's just more comfortable to press on something soft. I'm going to shuffle the feet a little bit closer together. And then focusing on the ball, focusing on the pillow between the knees, I'm going to squeeze. So I'm going to press hard, squeeze. And then I'm going to ease the pressure, release. So I'm going to press hard, squeeze. And ease the pressure, release. So imagine to be popping the ball. So I'm going to try and squeeze harder to try and pop the ball. Noticing if one side is working harder than the other. See if I can try and focus on the side that doesn't seem to be responding, doesn't seem to be working. And then same as usual, I can always use the hands to guide the legs. So I could use my hands into how we squeeze, and then I'm going to try and gradually release. 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, I'm going to squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ease the pressure. Try again. Squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ease the pressure. 3 more times. Squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ease the pressure. 2 left. Squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ease the pressure. Last one. Squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Easing the pressure from the ball, relaxing the inner thigh, releasing through the hips. There's a little bit more connection to the inside of the leg. What I want is to see if I can find a similar connection, but this time to the side of the leg. So grabbing hold of your strap or your band. Again, if you're seated, you can even use your hands on the side of the leg, so you don't need the band. I'm going to feather the band behind the legs. And then I'm just going to cross it at the front. And I'm going to put a little tension with the arms. So I'm going to try and pull it together, pull the legs together with the arms. And then holding the tension with the arms, with the legs, I'm going to try and push out. So I'm going to push out with the legs. And then I'm going to relax. Push out with the legs and relax. So the opposite to what I was doing before. This time is trying to, instead of trying to pop the ball between my knees, I'm trying to let the ball drop down. So we're trying to open up the knees. But the band is there to offer a little resistance. And then I'm going to relax. And then again, noticing any difference between the right and the left side. So again, I might find that my right leg seems to be pushing quite well. The left leg doesn't seem to be doing anything, or vice versa. Focus on that weaker side. See if I can really try to picture the connection into the side of the hip, into the side of the bum, that is allowing the leg to move out. If I'm laying down, exactly the same. So I'm going to keep a little tension and then pushing out and releasing back in. Pushing out and releasing back in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, I'm going to hold the outward pressure for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Try again. Push out. Hold that pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. So 3 more times. So push out to hold the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Push out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. The last time. Pushing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. This is a little bit more activation to the side of the hip. What I want is a little bit more to the front of the hip this time. So if you're lying down, you need something so that you don't need to strain your shoulder or strain your neck. So it's easier if you put the pillow between your right thigh and your right hand so that you can hold the pressure there. If I'm sitting down, the leg is closer to the hand because of the angle of the hip, so I can just put my right hand straight on top of the right thigh. And then with the hand, I'm going to push down. With the leg, I'm going to try and lift off the ground. So I'm going to try and pull up the right foot and relax. Pull up the right foot and relax. 3, 4, so see if I can really feel the tension right through the front of the hip. 5, and into the front of the belly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relaxing the hip and releasing the leg. Same thing on the left side. So left hand goes to the left thigh, or if I'm laying down, I'm going to put the ball, the pillow between the two. And then trying to lift that left leg, pushing away with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release it back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg, reversing the effort. This time I want the back of the leg and the back of the bum to work. So instead of trying to lift that leg, I'm going to try and push the leg into the floor. So I'm going to press down through the right foot and release, push down through the left and release. So if I'm seated, imagine to be wanting to stand on your right leg only. So I'm going to almost like lean forward and then try to push down onto that right leg. Then lean forward and then push down on the left leg. And then again on the right. If I'm lying down, imagine to be wanting to bridge on that single leg. So I'm going to push down through that left foot, release, push down through the right, release, push down one, release, push down the other, release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. This is a little bit more connection of the back of the leg as well. I'm going to see if I can start getting the upper and the lower body to work together. So same as usual, imagine a little string that connects your right arm to your right leg and your left arm to your left leg. I'm going to start pulling the string with my right arm, see if I can get the right leg to lift. Then I'm going to ease the string, ease the leg back. Then pulling up with the left arm, see if I can get my left foot to lift, and then release it back. So little lift, big lift, no lift, it doesn't matter, just to see if I can try and connect to that right side together, release back, and then that left side together, and then coming back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, little rest for the front of the hip. I'm going to go back into the back of the hips. This time I'm going to push down through both feet. If I'm sitting on the chair, imagine to be lifting your hips off the chair. So I'm going to lean forward and then pushing down through the feet. I'm going to squeeze my hips up and then sit back again. So I'm going to come forward, push down, trying to lift slightly, and then ease my way back again. If I'm lying down, see if you can start lifting into your bridge. So pushing down through the feet, I'm going to try and squeeze my hips up. Stretching and lengthening through the front of the hips, and then I'm going to ease my way down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the hips and releasing the legs, and then I'm going to go back to the front of the hip again, connecting to the arms, but this time I'm going to work across. So with my left arm, I'm going to pull up my right leg. With my right arm, I'm going to pull up the left. Then ease back. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. So noticing if the combination, working across or working the same side, is better. Sometimes I might struggle with one, but it seems to be working really well when I switch to the other. So crossing over and then crossing the other way. So left and right, and then right and left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hips, so releasing the legs. I want to reach with the hands around the side of the rib cage, really closer to the lower ribs. So I'm just going to place my hands in there. And then I'm not squashing the rib cage, but I'm going to put little pressure around. So I want to feel the rib cage. And then from there, what I want is to try and take a 6 big breath. So what I want as you breathe is to feel your ribs stretching out and opening. And then as you exhale, they go back to where they were. So I'm going to inhale 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And releasing back. Relaxing the arms down by the side. If you're laying down, rolling over onto the side, pushing yourself up into seated, finding your comfortable seated position. So leaning against the wall, leaning against something. If I need a little support behind me, or just popping the arms behind to give that little support. Finding the seat bend to see if I can try and lift myself nice and tall over the seat bend. And then once you feel that you're set, to see if you can start getting into that nice lift to the front. So I'm going to push the chest forward, draw the shoulders back. I'm going to keep lifting the chest up to the ceiling, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then I'm going to release, come forward, rounding the back, pushing the ribcage against the back of the room, rounding the back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, moving forward as far as I feel comfortable, and then back up again, pushing the ribcage forward, trying to lift up as high as you can, looking forward, looking up, looking back, and release, coming forward again. Rounding and opening the back of the rib cage, the middle of the back. And then again, release and reverse and pushing the chest forward, extending up as much as you can. And then releasing, coming forward. One hand to the belly, One hand to the back, take your bow, give yourself a clap for that. And question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself